Running a red light is something that many, if not all, drivers are familiar with. In essence, it means driving through an intersection as the traffic light turns red. Cameras are actually being installed in many busy intersections to stop people from running red lights, as it is a hazard to people around them. But, from a physics standpoint, what is the furthest distance someone can physically be from the intersection and still go completely through the intersection before the light turns red? What about the closest a car can be to an intersection and still legally and safely stop? To answer this question, we had to get data. Before we did anything, we made our driver take an online reaction time test. After doing multiple trials and averaging the data, we found that our driver's reaction time was about 363 milliseconds, or about 0.36 seconds. Next, we went outside to begin our testing. We measured the timing of the yellow light on the corner of 80th Street and 25th Avenue, finding after many cycles of the light that the yellow light lasted for about 3.3 seconds. The length of the intersection was also something we had to account for, and we measured it to be about 25.6 meters long. Now we had to get data on how quickly the car accelerated. Our car of choice was a '96 Mercedes E320. Our first test was to find out how quickly the E320 went from 8.94 meters per second to 0 meters per second. After doing 3 different tests and averaging them, we found that the car came to a stop in about 3.62 seconds and after traveling about 12.25 meters, meaning that the car was decelerating at negative 2.47 meters per second squared. At 13.4 meters per second, the speed limit on 25th Avenue, the car will come to a complete stop after traveling for 5.43 seconds. Knowing that our driver's reaction time was 363 milliseconds, we subtracted 0.363 seconds from the yellow light's time of 3.3 seconds to account for our driver's reaction speed. After our driver notices the yellow light, it will only be yellow for another 2.937 seconds. During the first 0.363 seconds, the car will already have traveled 4.86 meters. After doing the math using a kinematics equation and then adding 4.86 meters to the ending result, our driver would have to be 41.21 meters, 135.2 feet, away from the intersection in order to stop safely and legally without entering the intersection. Now, making it through the intersection. We can use that same equation as the last problem, but with different values. To solve this one, we had to get back in the car and do some more tests. This time we accelerated from a stopped position to 8.94 meters per second, timing how long it took. After averaging the 3 trials, we found that our acceleration was 2.076 meters per second squared. Plugging in these values to the previous equation, we find that to completely make it through the intersection, all 12.25 meters of it, the driver would have to begin accelerating 22.74 meters, or 74.6 feet, before entering the intersection. For drivers to be safer when crossing intersections, it is always important to keep an eye on the pedestrian timer. If the hand is blinking or the number beside it is close to 0, drivers should stop using the gas and be prepared to use the brake if they are still a good distance away from the intersection. Doing tests on a driver's own car in an area clear of other drivers can also be beneficial, giving the driver a good idea of where they cannot safely brake to stop themselves from entering an intersection, and instead will have to lay on the gas if the light is yellow. And even easier ways for cities and the transportation agency to remedy this problem is to have a secondary light beside the green light that lights up 5 seconds before the green changes to yellow. This will give drivers the opportunity to check their speed and distance from the light, and, most importantly, give them extra time to make a decision about speeding up or beginning to slow down to a stop.